Hey dear, Zinzi here, and I'm so excited today because I have one of my most highly anticipated reads of the year, and that is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. And it delivered, it met my expectations, so I want to talk about it and share my thoughts with you all without getting into spoilers, so let's dive in. So this book is set during Spain's Golden Age, and it centers around Lucia, who is a poor, impoverished maid, and she's also able to perform small miracles like she can fix burnt bread or she can mend torn clothes. And soon enough, word gets out that she is a miracle worker, and she is invited to this grand holy tournament where competitors will compete to be the holy champion for the King of Spain. And soon enough, she begins to realize that she's in over her head and people are willing to kill for this prize. So she has to watch out for her fellow competitors and their patrons. And on top of all that, she also has to watch out for the Spanish Inquisition because she is secretly a Jewish convert and she doesn't want to be persecuted and burned as a heretic and a witch. So she has a lot to worry about. And the writing in this book is absolutely lush and gorgeous, but one quote in particular really stuck with me and perfectly encapsulates the story, so I want to read it for you all. There is a fine line between a saint and a witch, and I wonder if you are prepared to walk it. Dun dun dun. I absolutely loved this story. It's filled with deception and backstabbing and intrigue, and I think my favorite character had to be Santanhel, aka the Scorpion, who is Lucia's mentor. He's like her coach, and he's teaching her the ways of the court and how to perform miracles, but he seems like he has a lot of history and baggage to him, and readers are kind of left guessing what are his motives, and is he a foe, is he an ally, or something in between. And he was just a really fascinating character to me. And there's a really interesting historical backdrop going on throughout this book. So we have the conflict of England versus Spain with Protestants versus Catholics. And also during this period, we have the Spanish Inquisition who are persecuting Jews and Muslims. So this was an interesting and frightening time. And as much as I love this story, I have one major gripe with it, and that is how it butchers the Spanish language, like really basic Spanish 101. My Spanish is rusty, but even I was able to pick up on it, like misspelling the word que and e and color, even though color and color have the same exact spelling in English and Spanish, and I'm not sure how this was published like this because I'm used to ARC, so I give some wriggle room to grammatical mistakes and misspellings and all that, and I also have more grace towards really small publishers or self-publishing, but from a big Macmillan imprint, I expected better. Like, they poured so much money into marketing this book. It was everywhere on Goodreads, and the standard edition has like sprayed edges and gorgeous like patterning, but I wish they had got a copy editor to double check the Spanish because that's kind of inexcusable. I blame that more on the publisher though, because they should have double checked that before this went out to print. And this is the same exact issue that I had with Shadow and Bone, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this series and I'm obsessed with the Darkling, but she also butchers Russian in that book and seems to have zero understanding of it. Like, she accidentally names a character a cuss word. Alina Starkov should be Alina Starkova because she is a woman, and the Grisha are basically named the Russian equivalent of Greg. So it's like, the Gregs are coming. So I really wish that if authors decide to write in a language they aren't native or fluent to, that they do their research and that the publisher is there to make sure with a copy editor that it is correct and that there aren't mistakes. So just my ongoing frustration there. Language mistakes aside, I still completely fell in love with the story. I was enraptured with it and I just devoured it, and I still recommend it. And if you are a huge history and fantasy nerd like me, I also strongly recommend checking out Sinine Eater. It's set in an alternate 1600s England, and it focuses on the occupation of sin eating, which was a real occupation back then, where people who were predominantly lower class would be hired to devour like nobles' sins so that they may be atoned, and it still has those religious undertones and court intrigue. So I feel like these two books are in really similar veins, so if you like one, you'll probably love the other. All right, that's a wrap. Those are all my thoughts on The Familiar. If you've read it already, let me know your thoughts down below, or if you have any recommendations for historical fantasy or alternate history books, let me know about them down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!